Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. It's time to experience what's possible. So, are you guys ready to embrace the fact that you are the one you've been waiting for? Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we are helping the world experience what's possible. And here today to help me with that mission are a couple of the amazing authors of one of our newest books. This is the third in the Shaman Heart series, you guys, and it's called We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For. Before I introduce you to my friends here, I have a huge shout out and thank you to our lead authors of We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For, Stephanie Urbina Jones, Jeremy Pager, Jorge Luis Delgado. Thank you so much for your huge vision and mission with this book. You guys, this was an extraordinary experience because we took our entire author crew to Peru on a spiritual pilgrimage of sorts, where Jorge guided us through the magical lands of Peru. It was just bucket list amazing. And to have leaders like Stephanie and Jeremy and Jorge taking us through these experiences while we were there was, I don't know, just, I'm going to use Jorge's way of describing it, extraordinary. I love the way that he says that, right? So much gratitude for how they held the space for us while we were there. And now coming home and creating this beautiful book, it's just a dream. So let me introduce you to who I have in my Zoom room today. Scott Holmes is an intuitive energy practitioner guiding professional men and women on their journey to heal and maintain their life path. I have Sandy Travis Bildal with me. She's the founder of Bravery Becomes You. She delivers breakthrough strategies that empower her clients to overcome fear, take bold action, and create visionary success with confidence and impact. Welcome, you guys. How's it going today?
Great.
Good. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. It feels like ages since we were together. What an honor it was to spend that time with you, both of you in Peru, get to know you better, experience something so phenomenal with people who get it and walk their walk of awareness every day. That's such a treat for me. And I'm so honored to be here talking about this project with you. Sandy, you're going to start the party off today. So take a minute to introduce your chapter and give us a little bit of the why behind it.
Well, my chapter is The Alchemy of Brave Kindness. And I was thinking this morning about my why, getting ready for today, and I realized that my why really began with bravery, which is always my passion, and deciding if I could say yes to something I hadn't really considered. I hadn't really planned on going to Peru as a last minute thing. I had no idea, what the outcome would be. I really didn't know what my why would be. Why was I going? And so it really brought bravery into play because I had to trust myself. I had to realize, which I always know, that you can never know the outcome of anything. And I had some circumstances that led me to say yes. And so I said yes. And I had no idea what my chapter was going to be. And throughout the process, everything kind of magically led me to the yes for this book, which happened at Machu Picchu. And I got a message.
Ooh, you're not going to leave us there, are you?
Well,
You have to read the book, you guys. You have to read the book, okay?
yeah.
Sandy, I'm so glad you said yes and followed that inside of you. And what an incredible experience we all had together. Gosh, Machu Picchu.
Mm.
Yeah, right. So can you remember a time where the switch flipped for you in terms of listening to that? Like, how did that go down for you in your life?
I really think everything changed for me a lot when I focused on bravery. And that also came out through another book that I wrote, which was about my travels with my son and saying yes to going camping on a 6-week camping road trip and sleeping on public lands in the middle of nowhere. And it wasn't what I wanted. I needed a new story, and that's what showed up. And it was like, wait a minute, this isn't what I wanted. But I said yes. And I really learned on that trip how much fear was controlling my life and how much I've missed in my life by letting fear, make me say no, that autopilot no. And so ever since I discovered that, the the feeling of being brave that grows and grows and the excitement of that and leads to adventure, whether it's good or not good, everything really is an adventure and there's something to learn. And once you do it enough, it really makes life vibrant and exciting and you grow. And nothing to me is more exciting than growing.
It takes
And
a
yeah,
travel takes a little courage in and of itself, doesn't it?
yeah, especially Peru was a big challenge for me because I hadn't really thought about going to Peru, and I really just I didn't really know many people going, and it was a big question mark. But
I
I
love
said,
I love that you said yes to it. I had a few years prior for the first one that we did with Stephanie and Jeremy to Mexico, to the pyramids in Teotihuacan. And that was my first ever alone international travel. And I mean, it wasn't like I was going to say no. So I forced myself to into having enough courage to do the things I had to do, right? I had already said yes. So it's like, okay, doesn't matter if I'm afraid because this is happening. And there were some things, right? It took a little something to do that. And I'm so glad I did it.
yeah,
And now we're all over the world with these trips. It's been totally amazing. Sandy,
I mean,
thank you. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just want to say one thing. It just, when you look back, I don't think anybody would not agree with this. Can you imagine missing Peru with this group of people? It
No.
was so phenomenal and so magical and so connected. And well, it's kind of what my chapter's about too. But that would have been a no that would be very, what if I'd said no? So
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Thank you for saying yes. And thank you for being here today to share.
to be here.
All right, Scott, give us a little bit of your why for your chapter.
Chapter 25, Holding Space and Framing Your Life in Everyday Moments. And one of the things that I found in making the decision to go to Peru was I was directed. I had absolutely, like yourselves, I had no intention of going to Peru. I had no intention of writing a piece. I didn't know what I wanted to write on the piece. I had really no idea, but I was just open. I traveled and I love traveling, but going to Peru was different in so many ways. Being led by Jorge, especially, with his impact on showing us how every single aspect of life was important. How the Incas, how they treasured the mountains, how they had identities, how everything that they touch had an energy, had an identity, was a part of them. And it really brought to home something that I had was formulating in my head, but it was about being present and being present in that moment. Now, the first walk we had in Peru, and we had a motley crew, and we had ages from 20s to 70s, right? Was, oh, well, you can bring walking stick if you want, but you don't have to. It's a bit of a hike, but it's okay. And we're
Right.
thinking, all right, how bad can it be? And I believe it was the Moon Temple. We went to it, and it was what, 2 hours plus to get there to the top. That was just to get there. Forget it was as much up and down as it was going up as it was going back down, and it was not easy. And I've had arthritis for years in my knees, and I'm thinking, all right, this is the first trek we have, and oh my God, how am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to do this? And I wouldn't have missed the sights. I wouldn't have missed the people. I wouldn't have missed everything that happened, the experiences for the world. I had no intention of going to Peru. It wasn't on my bucket list. I have Bali and, all of those really um, nice destinations that everybody goes to on my list, but not Peru. And it was so worthwhile. The energy, the understanding, the connection with people. And for anybody, by the way, it isn't just this book, but anybody who can go away with a group of like-minded people, your joy, your pleasure, your understanding of just about everything that you touch expands exponentially. The experience is just that much greater. And holding space, I found that that's what it clarified for me that holding space is something I've been doing all my life.
Mm. So, do you have a favorite sun ceremony that you remember from Jorge?
I still practice them. Yes.
What's give me the
When
one favorite maybe.
when you're looking, you have your hands up and you're looking at the sun directly, which, all my life I've been told, don't ever look at the sun directly, you'll go blind. But when you do that through your hands and you make that connection and bring it through your body, it really, really was um, life affirming. You can feel the energy that you miss or take for granted on a regular basis.
I loved all of them. I did love that one a lot. I still do that one with the little hole, the
With a
peephole.
little hole so you can see, yeah.
um, Scott, thank you for saying yes to the whole spiel of it and for being here today. I'm gonna stick with you for this next question. When we embrace the idea that we are the ones we've been waiting for, that journey is very unique to each and every one of us, hence the beautiful, different stories in the book. It's one of the reasons I love collaborative books because we need all of your voices and stories. But give us an idea of what being the one you've been waiting for has meant for you personally.
I'm not, I won't speak for everyone on the trip, but in speaking with a number of people that went with us, Peru changed them profoundly for me. It allowed me to take care of myself. It allowed all of these things that I didn't know I was carrying. Part of it was past life, part of it was ancestral, part of it was my earlier in my life traumas, going to Machu Picchu, going to Condor Temple, going to Lake Titicaca. All of that came out of me. The heaviness that I had been carrying, and I didn't really notice it. Some people call it shadow self. It left me, and I had this feeling of wanting to fly. The hummingbird became very, very important to me. It's one of the symbols from Peru, and it became very important because it's so determined and so fierce and so energetic, and it really I embodied that now. When I got back, I had resisted uh, the idea of marriage. I had been married for 40 years until my wife passed, and when I came back, all of those anxieties, all those trepidations were gone. And so I asked my longtime girlfriend to get married, and we did in December, which was wonderful. But that's the change. There was no fear involved. There was no anxiety involved. There was no trepidation. And it really changed the way I see life on an everyday basis through that. And it hard to describe. When I told Patty that I had changed when I came back from Brazil, she was like, okay. And then she saw the changes. And it was just magnificent. And I credit the leaders, the way they set everything up, but also the group dynamics of everybody is the because I felt like I connected with absolutely everybody on that trip, and it was just brought a whole new family into my
Mm-hmm.
life.
I would use that word as well. Congratulations on your
Thank
wedding.
you.
And thank you for mentioning the hummingbird. He hasn't made an appearance in the interviews until now, and I'm so glad he has, because I've always loved them. But if you've ever seen a Peruvian hummingbird, y'all, they're huge. They are big, like bigger hummingbirds than you've ever seen. And they're just amazing. They're magical. They're all hummingbirds are magical, right? But I love that. I love that part of the trip.
Yeah.
All right, Sandy. So for you, be just embracing that idea that you are the one you've been waiting for. What has that meant for you personally?
I think it's really creating space for yourself. And I think it echoes a lot of, I agree with everything that Scott has just said, because also when I came home, um, it was like I was changed. And but looking back at some of the experiences I had, um, my openness was changed. A lot of things, I think there was so much during the trip about letting go and letting go. And so I think we did let go. And I don't think you needed to know exactly what it was or how it was, because I didn't always know um, what the words meant. I was so glad you put those words in your chapter when we stood at the in that temple and said whatever those words are. I didn't really know what they meant, but I knew they meant something, and I felt changed by those things. But I also think the connection with people and a feeling of very positive, uh, a very positive outlook about what who I am and what is possible in the world on a very high level, almost a level of love. And it just felt real. And again, it's hard to explain what that feels like, but it just opened a door to feeling a connection to everyone in the world. I was thinking about one of my experiences with the breathing meditation. And I did have a whole experience with the world being united and everyone getting along. And I came back and I was thinking, maybe I have my chapter about that. And I thought, wait a minute, that is a little bit over the top to think everyone is going to be, love everybody. But my chapter really turned out to be a way that maybe that's possible. I don't know if it's possible, but in Peru, that seemed possible. That kind of uh, like anything is possible thinking. So, and I brought
Yes.
that back, and it just relaxes everything. It takes away the pressure. So again, it's hard to describe it, but and the people, just to be connected with people like that who are all different ages, uh, was a phenomenal experience. So,
Stephanie and Jeremy's Sacred Journey Breathwork has a way of bringing you into a vibration that gives you an opportunity to heal at levels you never even realized existed. You guys, I'll give them a little plug for this, because we all got to experience that magic of theirs during the time we were with them. And for each of us, you start to ask the co-authors how that felt and get ready for those stories, right? Because they were all so incredible. So I just wanted to say that on piggyback off of what Sandy was saying about the breath work, and also something you said. Real uh, to me means embodied. Like it feels real because it's coming from that deep place in your body, mind, soul, integrated, right? Integration feels real finally. Um, Embracing the fact that I am the one I was waiting for, or have been waiting for me meant trusting that I have the answers. I can look outside of me and ask people for advice and for the answers to questions, and I can research and learn more and learn more and learn more. And I love being of a learner's mindset, but if I never come back to the place of trusting that my body, mind, soul knows what's right for me, I will never get an answer out there that really perfectly works. Right. So that's been a pretty big deal for me to embrace that trust, that I have the answer. Any decision I want to make, I'm going to be able to make it with clarity and courage and confidence, you know?
Well, I guess I didn't really say why it was the one I've been waiting for, but I think that openness and that love and that nurturing environment made me realize that I have a message. One of the messages I wanted to share, which is what I talked about in the book, but that um, I am I don't need to wait for an outside source to acknowledge what I have to share, and that I can step into that, and it has power and value, and really can help other people. It helps, including myself. But it's that, and everybody has that. It's finding that. Um, what you want to share in the world, whether it's to your family or your work or anything, and being able to be confident and embrace that is, I think, what everyone's waiting for is to really, and I think on the trip, the other thing, as you just said, is not just experiencing it, but we really felt it. And that creates a whole different way to integrate it. And so it's a long process of, you're the one, but you don't have to wait. You can do it right now. So.
So, Sandy, what's the most important thing you want people to know about the alchemy of brave kindness?
Well, um, as I said, my journey began without having any idea what my chapter would be about. And when I stood at Machu Picchu and, everyone kind of said, oh, well, listen, you might hear a message. And I thought, oh, I don't know, I'm not hearing any messages. And then finally, on the morning when we stood there at the sunrise, I I heard it like it was somebody was talking to me, was just the word kindness over and over again. And I just thought, well, there it is. There's my message. There's my story. I don't even have to go look for it. I heard it. And and everything that had happened up to that point was about kindness, whether it was the group in Peru or the person who convinced me to go to Peru or just kindness in my life. It was at an elevated level throughout the trip. So again, I didn't just think it, I felt it. And it was an ecstatic experience, that feeling of kindness. It wasn't just, oh, be kind on a little bumper sticker or something. And then when I came home, it made a perfect circle right back to me, to my bravery, because I thought, well, kindness is nice. Kindness feels good. Everyone feels great when they're kind, and, it's a reciprocal experience. And I thought, well, I need to add bravery to it. And I thought, oh, now why did I do that? Now I'm confusing everything. And it turned out to be perfect because to me, kindness needs bravery and bravery needs kindness. And it's a perfect combination because uh, if you even begin with yourself or extend it to the world, however you want to look at it, uh, kind inquiry to know who you are and get past fear and get past all the things that bravery typically helps you do. But when you do it with kindness, it's gentle. It's easier to ask yourself, why am I afraid? Why am I doubting myself? Why can't I step into who I want to be when you do it in a gentle way? And bravery then is sort of made more gentle by kindness. And bravery's action. Bravery's saying, that is what I want to do. Now I can go out and be who I want to be. So to me, it's a perfect combination. I think I said it's the combination your inner hero has been waiting for, because kindness and bravery together, they're a force. They're a real way to live your life because it's like love in action. And it's just it works for everything. So it's not just a one-time thing, oh, today I want to be kind or I helped that person and that felt good. It's a way to look at your whole life. And if you also want to look at the world with my beautiful picture of everyone getting along, well, how do you show kindness to people you don't like or you don't understand or who betrayed you or you just are completely different? it takes bravery to say, I want to be a kind person and I'm going to find ways to have compassion for what I don't understand and, care about people that I don't understand. And I think right now we really, really need that. And it's not easy to do. But I think brave kindness is a key to making that happen. So that's my message.
It's a good message, powerful message. Thank you. Scott, your turn on this one. What's the most important thing you want people to know about the everyday moments?
By the way, Sandy, you reminded me of the statement, throw some love at it. When I'm in that place, I always like to throw love at it. How do I walk through this with kindness, with compassion, with love? Being present in everyday moments. Now, all of us have lives. We walk through, we get up in the morning, we make coffee, we do the small things for the people in our lives. And in that way, I find that we hold space for them. We allow them to know that they are loved. We allow them to know we are here. My sister's in the hospital right now. She broke her ankle, terrible pain. And all I did was go and I showed up. She was scared to death. She was in pain. No one was there. And I walked in the room and I saw that she was really in a bad place. And I just sat next to her. I held her hand and we just talked about nothing. But all of a sudden, you see the anxiety level come down. You see everything come down. And being present, holding that space for people, no matter what is going on in your life, makes all the difference in the world. Whether it's being present, really showing up, not just being there, but being there fully. What Peru taught me was to remove basically all the bullshit. Just let it go, alleviate it, and just be present in that very moment because that moment is all you have. And that's what I really want to bring through to people is that if you can maintain that integrity of being present and being there with love and compassion, everything works out. Everything works out. It may not be how you want it to. It may not be how you picture it. It may not be how you plan it. All of those things go awry, right? After you plan it, everything changes. But being there to be able to allow all of those things to happen, and it changes the interconnectedness of everybody that around you. And it really just hold your space of who you are, hold fast to that, know who you are. And Laura, much like you said, knowing here, knowing what's here, coming back to here and knowing that you have all the answers makes all the difference in walking through life. There's very little fear anymore. The bravery comes out.
Most powerful practice on the planet is present moment awareness. I love that. That's how we're wrapping up today, you guys. I have such huge gratitude to both of you for pouring your hearts and souls onto the pages with your beautiful stories. Thank you for doing that. And then stepping up as the master teachers you are in the second piece of your chapters, where this medicine is for our readers, and they get to have a taste and have an experience with your magic. This book is such a gift, and I'm so grateful that both of you said yes and did that thing I challenged you to do so brilliantly. Having all of the voices and all of the different kinds of medicine in this book is a gift to our readers. Thank you both, Scott, and thank you, Sandy, for being who you are and showing up like you do for what you do in the world. And thank you for being here today to share it with everyone. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So this is way more than a book, y'all. It is a generous community who is ready and waiting for you to reach out if you have a question. Maybe you want to continue the conversation that we started today. Maybe you need some support. I've got Scott and Sandy's links down below. Go explore their websites, see what they're up to. This community is there for you to ask those questions and carry on the conversation and get the support that you need. So I hope that you will do that. And of course, we would love it if you hop over to Amazon and grab your copy of We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For. Beautiful gift of a book. You can do that. I've got the link below. You can also come to our book launch party Zoom. We are going to have that on March 7th. So if you're listening to this in time, 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to have all of our authors there. You can click below for more information about the book launch party. And lastly, today, everyone, remember, your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.